Grace at Work has 4 primary objectives. The third of those is growing ambassadors for Jesus' kingdom. To help get our hands around what that means, let's think about an ambassador for the United States. That ambassador is a citizen of the United States, but he lives in a foreign country. He's in that foreign nation for the specific purpose of representing the sovereign government of the United States. He seeks to live in peace with the culture of the nation where he resides, but he doesn't adopt the culture of that nation. Instead, he maintains allegiance to the sovereign government he represents and its culture. In fact, if he adopts the culture of that foreign nation, he really won't be a particularly good ambassador for the United States. It will be difficult or maybe impossible for him to represent the interests of the United States if he's adopted the culture of the foreign nation. The U.S. ambassador's job description applies pretty well to Christians. In another video, we talk about how believers in Christ become citizens of his kingdom. But we're more than citizens. As the Apostle Paul describes in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, we are ambassadors for Christ, God making his appeal through us. We live in this world, but we are not of this world. We are citizens of Christ's kingdom, and while we reside in this world, we represent him to the world. We represent his sovereign kingdom. But there's an important difference between being an ambassador for the United States and an ambassador for Christ's kingdom. The United States ambassador doesn't typically try to convince people to renounce citizenship in their nation and become U.S. citizens. But that is the mission of the ambassador for Christ. As Paul goes on to say in 2 Corinthians 5, "We implore you on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God." None of us was born a citizen of Jesus' kingdom. We had to enter that kingdom by renouncing our citizenship in the world. And having done that, we make the same call to others. Join us in the kingdom of Jesus. Many of us like to think that we're in charge of our lives, that we're the king of our personal kingdom, you might say. We decide what is right in our own sight. If that's how we think of our lives, it's going to seem like we're giving up a lot to embrace Jesus as king. But that's not reality. None of us is actually the king of our own kingdom, no matter how good our life may look. There are really only 2 options according to the Bible. We're either citizens of Jesus' kingdom or citizens of the world. And the bad news is that Jesus identified Satan as the ruler of this world. So if you're not a citizen of Jesus' kingdom, you're actually a citizen of Satan's kingdom. If we can grab hold of that reality, it'll make so much more sense why we should give up the illusion of control and be reconciled to God by embracing Jesus as King. As ambassadors for Christ, we implore every man and woman to join us in Jesus' kingdom.